this arraignment is to stop me from criticizing the federal government, they have committed a capital compound mistake. I shall continue to speak, Mr. President. I shall continue to ask questions. I shall continue to criticize any public officer, including the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, where he has gone wrong. Mr. President, I have conquered fear, and I am not afraid of the prison. The last administration arrested me 14 times. Abacha's government detained me. Babangida's government detained me. I am not afraid of the prison. It is built because of human beings. But we will continue to speak the truth, not minding who serves his God. In an unjust society, silence is a crime. The battle to bring Nigeria back on track from these criminals in power is a battle of no retreat, no surrender. And I am ready to face the federal government on this matter. I will fight it with the last drop of my blood. No retreat, no surrender.
I belong to. Mr. President, I'm representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege. Mr. President, when we are saying that 5,000 women, including underage, are raped and molested, Mr. President, not by me. Mr. President, this Senate needs to know. Mr. President, this Senate needs to lend its voice to the plight of these people. Mr. President, there is nowhere I can say it except here. This is why I'm elected. If I cannot say these things on this floor, sir, I better resign and leave. Because there is just no point, Mr. President. Somebody cannot do this. Mr. President, it is pertinent for every senator to know that a special advisor to the governor is the chief suspect in my state. Mr. President, I can name the name. Everybody knows. Mr. President, I thank you so much, like you said, for accommodating. Yes, sir. But Mr. President, we are all under you here, and you have to give us equal treatment, and you have to deal with us fairly. I was very happy when I reported this case in the first time. You said that my personal safety is of your concern, and you accepted. We let these papers. Mr. President, if I come back, I need to report to you and before my colleagues what happened. Mr. President, how can somebody sit down as an official of the government that is being accused of masterminding these things? And Mr. President, you say you don't want to hear that? Mr. President, you need to know.
No, I didn't say I don't want to hear. But
I was also told that during the in 1999, at the inception of democracy in Nigeria, we had 70 military officers. Today we have more than 1,000 officers, and nothing is being done. This thing is going on every day. People being killed, kidnapped, and everything. Mr. President, this Senate need to ask some questions. If these military men are not answerable to the governor, or they are disobeying him, the governor needs to say that yes, the military are not under me and they are not taking my instructions, so that this Senate or the federal government can take a position. It is just not enough to heap blame on the doorstep of the federal government. When you don't allow members of your National Assembly to discuss anything, you don't allow anybody to take it, you don't allow media to take anything. Mr. President, my zone is under siege, and I will continue to say it on this floor of the Senate, sir. Unless I'm allowed to do it, I will resign from this place and go. Thank you very much.
Today, in London, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Nigeria and the President of Nigeria said that these killings were as a result of the people who were trained by the late Muammar Gaddafi. And so, implying that these people who are doing these killings in Nigeria are invaders from outside of Nigeria. And if he says that they are invaders from outside of Nigeria, what it means is that it now validates my last point on this floor. When a commander-in-chief says that he cannot take care of invaders invading Nigeria, why is he still a commander-in-chief? Why do we still continue to indulge? Why do we still continue to indulge this president that everywhere goes along to tell everybody outside this country that he is totally incompetent. Because it's obvious.
Senator Abaribe. Senator Leader.
What is this? Mr. President. No. You cannot finish. You cannot finish. You cannot finish. Mr. President. Mr. President. Mr. President.
Senator Abaribe. Senator Abaribe, I think we need to be guided on the language and the quorum that we use. With all due respect, we can make our points without using words that truly are offensive and not acceptable. So, before you rule, he has made a point, and I think you are an elder statesman, and I want you to be guided accordingly before I now rule on it.
Thank you, Mr. President. I am very well guided by you, and I say, Mr. President, that there are words that there are no other alternatives to. And Mr. President, what I did was to interpret the words by Mr. President in London, and I juxtaposed it with the explanations here. So now what it tells me is that there is a conflict.
No. Senator Abaribe.
We don't hold anybody accountable. Today, there was a time the IG came here during this hearing about this Abuja, Kaduna. I told him, why can't you man maybe each 5 kilometers put a SPO, that is a senior police officer, to man that place, so that if anything happens on between that 5 kilometers, that person will be held accountable for that. Nobody, people will kill and the DPO will be there, people will kill the commissioner of police there, people will be killed and the IG is still this thing because they have people in the villa to protect them. When I made this thing, some people went to the president and told him that I'm going after his family. And because of that one, they packaged to Attorney General to take me to court. I was told. The Attorney General said IG ran to him to help him that this thing, I'm challenging the family of the president. I'm not doing it. I'm doing it for Nigerians. I'm not doing it for myself. IG cannot do anything to me. I'm not a contractor. I'm not looking for contract. I'm not looking for money from anybody. But I am doing it for this nation. Today, the DG Enyinnaya that was just appointed, is he qualified to be there? He's not qualified. This is a person that failed 2 exams. We know. He failed 2 exams. And it's just because he's close to the cabal, he's close to the people taking decisions, giving what to do, this thing, and he was appointed. And these are the kind of things that we sometimes avoid, or sometimes we say, and we should not say anything. As long as we leave some certain things, we will continue to have this kind of problem. So many incompetent people are holding so many positions. Even today, I don't feel the presence of ministers. So many ministers, 50% of the ministers are not performing. Since the time the president assumed office, he has not taken any decision to change this country. Today, we are seeing it, and everybody is avoiding it. Nobody wants to say anything. Until we begin to talk, all these things that we are doing here, it cannot solve this our problem. If we like, let us call any kind of conference, we as legislators, we cannot implement anything. The executive, they have the power to implement all these decisions, and if they don't want to implement it, or if they don't care with what we are saying, right from the beginning of this, they term the National Assembly as their enemies. What are we doing? It's because we are trying to put direction to the government for them to succeed.
Head of security agency should immediately be sacked. There's no two ways about this. I believe these people have lounged enough. I believe they have exhausted all ideas within them. I believe what is deposited in them over the years as security experts and everything has been exhausted. The president needs a fresh idea as regarding the security situation of this country. And this current leadership of security heads cannot give him that fresh ideas. They have to go. If we must put an end to what is happening. Today, this morning, we read on the pages of newspaper, the president says his concern is about the security of this country. Also, foreign United States military also raised a very great concern about this incident killing happening across our country. Mr. President, the president needs a fresh ideas. We have come here, talk from time to time regarding this particular same issue. As we are speaking, killing is going on. By the time we wake up tomorrow, maybe another 5 or 10, 20 people will have been killed. And we'll still come here, bring a motion, and say they've killed so in my constituency. Mr. President, there is no place that is safe again in this country. And for us to address this issue, that is as simple as a fresh ideas. We have held security summit. We have put together the security team. They have appeared before us, and they've told us reason why there will still continue to be security challenges, even before they bring the report. So my own antidote to this situation on ground is the service chiefs, from the military, from the chief of defense staff to the least among them, should be fired with immediate effect. And let us bring new people on board who have fresh ideas. And you know the way the military hierarchy runs. If your boss is there, if you have any idea, that idea will die in you. Because if you try to bring up the idea, you might be retired the next day. So the solution is, let these people exit from this office and let's bring up a new people. And I believe that the president should take a bold step in this direction. If we have to stem the tides of this incessant killing in our country, or else we will have no choice than to continue to say this government has failed. So, going forward, and I believe anywhere is now is listening to all this contribution, and we are saying that the security chiefs are spent forth and they should go. There should not be any tenure elongation for them. They should go.
The chief executive of this country has decided to act outside the constitution. This is not the first time this thing has happened, Mr. President. This thing has started a long time ago. When the service chiefs were brought here, they were appointed and given offices, and they will assume their offices. When the FIRS chairman was appointed, he was appointed and assumed office without recourse to this National Assembly. And several other such constitutional breaches that are here before, that are flying in the face of this National Assembly. And in this one again, our president, and even the funny aspect of this thing is that it's going to be this Tucano that is going to be supply helicopter. It's in 2020. Not just this year, not in 2018, not 2019, 2020. And this is what we are doing here. And we are talking about that. 1 billion was appropriated for Northeast without anybody discussing anything about it here. Mr. President, a time has arisen when this Senate have to rise up and do the job which the Constitution stipulated that we have to do. If we have a chief executive who doesn't want to behave according to the Constitution, we follow the Constitution also to handle such a chief executive. And there's no way to, there's no other name to call this, except that this is an impeachment offense. It's an impeachable offense, and we cannot allow that. We cannot stay here and Nigerians will be, the assembly will be taken for granted. Nigerians will be taken for granted. It should not be so, Mr. President. If you say that you are a man here, you can stand up to be counted. If you say that you are here on behalf of your people, this is time to stand up and get counted. We're talking about Nigeria. We're not talking about anybody. We're discussing about our country. This is our country. And things should be done the way it should be done. Not the...
We should know that power is transient. Where was Gowon, who ruled Nigeria for 9 years? Where was Obasanjo, who ruled Nigeria for over 11 years? Where is Babangida, who ruled Nigeria for 8 years? Where is Abacha for 5 years? Where is Jonathan for 5 years? Where is Umaru Musa Yar'Adua? I think we should understand that power is temporary. It's temporary. Power is an opportunity for you to serve, to make positive impact in the lives of your people. Whatever you do in the course of application of levers of power, there will always be a karma for it. What we saw yesterday about Dino Melaye is not going to be the history of Dino Melaye. It's going to be the history of Nigeria's democracy. It's going to be the history of the 8th National Assembly. And it's going to be the history of the government in power today. My main concern is when people are in power, they forget that there will be tomorrow. They forget that there will be life after power. If you use the levers of power to persecute people, to arrest people, to frame people, to intimidate and jail people, you should understand that life after power is longer than life in power. Our main concern, our democracy is consistently falling apart. If this can happen to a sitting senator, it can happen to all of us. You may be in the good books of the people in power today, and such things may have not happened to you. But whatever position you take today will be a record if it happens to you tomorrow. This is not the best of time for people to speak out the truth, especially people in the position of power, for the obvious reasons that people may be targeted, and election season is at hand, and people want their tickets back. But I think we should understand that not only power, life itself is temporary. Where are our colleagues? Here are the three of them. Where are they today? Who gave you the assurance that you will be up to 2019? The average age of people who are here today are 50 to 55 years. In 20 years, you will be in your 70s or 80s. So where is the permanence in power? Mr. President, what happened to Dino today, or yesterday, or the day before yesterday, is an onslaught on democracy. For people like us, I know very well I'm also a target, and I will fall into the situation of Dino, but I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered about that. What bothers me is to state the truth as it is.
Directly above your head, Mr. President, is the credo of our republic. It says unity and faith, peace and progress. The truth is, whatever a man sows, the same he will reap. And that goes for a family, that goes for a tribe, that goes for a nation, and that goes for a multinational republic such as Nigeria. When a nation or republic cannot keep faith with justice and with the truth, it will never achieve unity. It will never achieve peace. and it will never achieve progress. Mr. President, sir, one of us quoted from this constitution and went ahead to make prescription for how to move forward. I dare to tell this nation today that this is the problem. This constitution can never give us progress. This constitution can never give us peace. This constitution can never give us unity. And unfortunately, most of us in this National Assembly, we don't have the spine to face what we need to give this republic to have peace and progress. What do I mean? This constitution has 68 items. 68 on the exclusive list. This constitution has only 12 on the concurrent list. And those 12 are written so nebulously, so fraudulently, that you know that the intention is to even undermine those concurrent lists. That is why those who want unity and peace in Nigeria must first remember that the name of our republic is not just Nigeria. The formal name of this republic is Federal Republic of Nigeria. Unfortunately, we don't run a federalist system in Nigeria. Otherwise, what is so unique about all those things that are in the exclusive list? We used to have a parliamentary system. And then we wanted unity, we wanted peace, we wanted progress, and we therefore said we are going to go with a presidential system. Honestly, there are many presidential systems in the world that have peace and progress. I can't quarrel with that.